Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you all for your submissions. In general, I was really pleased with what you sent me. Thank you. Your resilience and flexibility just inspire me. That's really all I have to say about that. So just keep up the good work. Reach out with help when you need help, and we can do this. So, you don't have an assignment due next Monday because test 2 is due next Wednesday, April 15th. So, this week, I'll go through quite a bit today. Still gonna try to keep it short, but a lot of the requirements. Wednesday, I'll do a little bit, about half test stuff and half proficiency stuff. And then next Monday, there will be no video. It'll just be an open office hour for you to jump on and ask questions. So let's get to it. We've covered all of the scales for your test. So I just want to review. For your test, it's going to be either F, F sharp, G, or A flat. And I'll let you know a day, 2 days before what all I want. Okay, I don't know why I just did this. I hate going back and watching these. I hope you guys are laughing at me. You should be. Comic relief. Okay, so just as a reminder, you're thinking through your checklist. F, both the major and minor is the same fingering. Right hand turns after 4. So you should go to your appendix and make sure you have these things written down. By F, right hand turns after 4. Okay, F sharp, you should think immediately, rule of 2s and 3s. And then in the minor, your right hand starts on 3 instead of 2. Okay, so F sharp is 2s and 3s. But then in the minor, your right hand starts on 3. So make sure you have that written down. G, C major fingering. And then A flat, you should have written down that in the major, they both start on 3. And in the minor, they both start on 3. But remember that left hand fingering changes. So please revisit last week's video to go over the A flat stuff. Okay, and thinking of arpeggios, F, C major fingering. F sharp, major is C major fingering. Minor is alternate. G major is C major fingering. And A flat, for both major and minor, is alternate fingering. Now I know I just said a lot, and if you're watching this at 9 a.m., you are probably, that's just meant to be a checklist of everything I've had you write up until now. So go through and just make sure you have all of those tips, tricks, and just starting fingerings written in, okay? So let's go ahead and let's look at page 247 and 248. So you recorded the first half for me due today, which I'll get feedback on soon. So we're going to start at measure 25. So at measure 25, I want you to take notice of what intervallic pattern you see. Okay, so from measure 25 all the way through the end of the page, it's all fifths. So I'm actually going to I'm going to combine measure 25 and 26 together, and I'm just going to find the fifth intervals. So measure 25 and 26 is G position. Measure 27 and 28, A flat position. 29 and 30, D flat position. 31 is E flat, D flat, A flat. So you may want to write that in. I would suggest you pause the video right now and do that a few times. G, A flat, finding your comfort. Then we would play it as written. 1, 2, 3, 4. To A flat. To D flat. E flat. D flat. A flat. Okay, so we do that a few times. Then, thank goodness, 33 through 40, we already know. So that's a freebie. And now we'll look at 41 through the end. This is probably the trickiest part for most people. Something to note, the left hand in measure 41 and the right hand are not in the same position. So in measure 41, your right hand is in an A position, and your left hand, your third finger is on A. So I'm going to play just the left hand to the end. You see stepping up, stepping down, move, step up, step down, move to C, step up, step down. So here's the left hand from 41. 1, 2, 3. A flat, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, and go. Fifth. So I practiced that a few times just because there's moving involved. The right hand just goes between A and A flat. So 41 to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. A flat. Right hand back to A. Left hand down to C. 2, 3. C and A in the right hand. Okay, so I would replay that several times. So hopefully, I'll see after I view your submissions. But hopefully this isn't a huge burden for you. I'll post a tempo requirement for the test. Okay, moving on, page 264. This is our harmonization. Some of you might know this is a hymn, but it's also a Gaelic folk song. For the test, I'm going to post a recording of myself playing the melody, and you'll play against it, just like the assignment, Alexander's Ragtime Band. Now, really important, I understand if you don't have the accessibility to play my recording and record yourself, I get it, but please play with a metronome then. The whole point of this is to play with something that keeps you going. So for the test, in order to give you the points, I'm at least going to need to have you play with the metronome. Better yet, play with the recording that I post. Okay, so the first step that I would suggest would be to block through these chords. So we are in the key of D major, F sharp and C sharp. So I would go through, even before you mess around with splitting up the chord, just root position, D major, E minor. You're going to keep going. You should be doing this with me. A major, G major, D. Skipping to measure 8, F sharp minor, B minor, D major, A major, D major, G major, skipping to the next chord, D major, B minor, E, you can go up or down, A major, D major, G major, A major, D major. So my guess is that most of it was pretty accessible, but that the second line you probably need a little extra work with F sharp minor and B minor. How does she know? Well, because they're hard. Okay, so that's the first step. Now, the next step I'm going to do today, I'm not going to do the whole thing as written today, I'll do that Wednesday. The next thing I'm going to do is talk about how they want you to divide the chords. Okay, now, all the way through, your left hand is going to play root, fifth, root. So D, A, D, Dad. I know, it's still not funny. E, B, E. A, E, A. All the way through. The only time that they suggest you do something different is in measure 12. They just want you to hold the root, and in the very last measure. So the next step would be to go all the way through with root, fifth, root. So you should pause here and do that. Coming back, they have you start in a first inversion D chord, because if you were to play a root position, your thumbs would overlap or it would be too high. So they have your hands moving in what we call a planing motion, meaning you keep the same hand position and you just move. So first inversion D, first inversion E, but then go ahead and write down here, I would go to a root position A, root position G. First inversion D, root position F sharp minor, and I would use a second inversion B minor chord, F sharp, B, D, which then easily, if I just change the middle note from B to A, that's a first inversion D chord, and then root position A. So go ahead and go back, maybe replay. I know I'm moving fast today. I'm trying to limit the length of these videos for you. Go back and mark in what is root and what is first inversion. Now let me be clear. On your test, if you choose a different inversion, that's not going to be grounds for deduction. The beat and the chord itself is important. I'm just telling you what they're modeling and also what I would do as a pianist. So if you want to hop around and play all root position, be my guest, that's fine. But that's a lot of jumping, okay? So today you should be blocking both hands together, root position, then blocking the left hand, root, fifth root, and then finding the right hand chords. Wednesday we'll try it as written. Reach out if you need help. Keep it up. Just do the best you can. That's all we can do. And let me know if you have questions. Have a good one.